For this video, I will provide an overview of the support unit type and list the factions which currently have these units available. Then, cover some generic strategic applications for squads assigned to support units to include insight about which opposing unit types are of least and greatest threat to the success and win of operations by support teams. In the United States Army, the term combat support refers to units that provide fire support and operational assistance to combat elements. Combat support units provide specialized support functions to combat units in the following areas: chemical warfare, combat engineering, military intelligence, security, and communications. Combat support should not be confused with combat service support, which are units which primarily provide logistical support by providing supply, maintenance, transportation, health, and other services required by soldiers of combat units to continue their missions in combat. Expressed another way, combat support units are focused on providing operational support to combat units, while combat service support units are focused on providing logistical support to combat units. Citing squad developers directly, support units focus on logistics, FOBs, intelligence, and mobile artillery. They lack wider availability of top-tier IFVs, but can build an extra HAB, ATGM emplacement, and can see the enemy's vehicle spawn timers. What this means is that support units in squad are specialized to provide warfare sustainment capabilities through both combat support and combat service support elements, not by means of heavy vehicle support, but instead via transport, reinforcement, supply, reconnaissance, and fire support advantages. The real-world 21st Supply Company of the Royal New Zealand Army Logistics Regiment is of vital importance to the Army's main military logistics and combat service support element. Being the largest regiment in the New Zealand Army, 11 trades are responsible for providing various support functions to include ammunition technicians, combat drivers, and maintenance support trades. Currently in squad, there are 10 playable support units, 3 under the Blue 4 Alliance, 3 independent, 2 PAC, and 2 Red 4. Starting with Blue 4, the first of the support units is the British Royal Logistics Corps Battle Group, with a wide range of logistics expertise, ensures the efficient flow of supplies, equipment, and transportation to military units globally. Also under the Blue 4 Alliance, the 6th Canadian Combat Support Brigade, comprising a diverse array of units, including engineers, signals, and logistics specialists. The brigade offers crucial support in areas such as transportation, communication, and infrastructure development. Finally, the United States Marine Corps' 2nd Marine Logistics Group, whose mission is to ensure that Marine forces are well supplied, maintained, and equipped to meet the demands of any operational scenario. Moving on to the independent factions, the first unit is the Irregular Militia Forces Irregular Fire Support Group, specialized to provide critical artillery support in irregular warfare scenarios, leveraging the BM-21 Grad's rapid and devastating firepower. The second independent unit is the Insurgents Irregular Fire Support Group. Comprising a mix of volunteer operators and locally recruited fighters, they are known for their adaptability and ability to deliver accurate and timely indirect fire on hostile targets. Next, the Middle Eastern Alliance's Vizier Hussein 2nd Support Battalion, the backbone of the Alliance's military forces, is tasked to bring all necessary ammunition, fuel, and construction materials to the front. For support units under the Chinese Alliance, the first is the People's Liberation Army 80th Support Brigade, functioning as a critical support brigade specializing in sustainment operations to ensure the operational readiness of military forces. Also under the Chinese Alliance, the PLA Navy Marine Corps' 17th Marine Support Battalion, a critical backbone for maritime operations, ensures that troops have access to necessary supplies, equipment maintenance, medical facilities, and other crucial services to enable the successful operation of amphibious and littoral missions. As for the Red 4 Alliance, Russian Ground Forces 78th Detached Logistics Brigade, engaged in ensuring the combat readiness of troops and forces, maintaining and delivering material resources, repair of weapons and military equipment, and refueling of vehicles. And last but not least, the VDV's 150th Support Battalion, whose responsibilities encompass transportation, supply, maintenance, and medical support, among others, critical for sustaining airborne operations. These units have one major characteristic in common: operational sustainment. The key to the efficacy of operations performed by support units lies within proper utilization of available logistics assets to emplace forward-deployed infrastructure in support of combative advancements and ensure appropriate personnel are equipped and postured for contingency missions wherein contested territory requires reinforcement. The first major strategy for support units is through elements of combat support to directly interact with the active combatants of the battlefield to ensure resiliency infrastructure is established and fortified for contingency operations, to include the gathering of intelligence and execution of fire support missions. First, support units maximize emplacement efficiency by ensuring team combat engineers are gainfully employed, particularly during the early phases of an operation. Combat engineers are responsible for fortifying claimed territory by more quickly building and digging up FOB deployables for the team. Because support units have the advantage of additional spawn bunkers, or HABs, on their FOBs, these units have the potential to solidify 360-degree coverage bolstered by the defense of more full squads compared to opposing units. This also means, due to support units' availability of multiple logistics vehicles, commanders and squad leaders have access to a more stable supply line, specifically integral to allocating build supplies for the establishment and fortification of super FOBs. Support units' potential is then enhanced further as combat engineers mobilize in support of friendly vehicle operations to ensure vehicle repair stations are deployed in strategic locations for rearming and maintenance purposes. Beyond combative operations performed by support units' vehicles, mobile assets used for intelligence gathering missions once again enhances the unit's overall effectiveness by employing personnel to spy on enemy supply lines and advancements. Combined with support units' unique specialty of seeing the adversary's vehicle spawn timers, the unit's ISR capabilities are unmatched among the entirety of the battlefield, which results in information dominance. With the enemy's secrecy and confidentiality compromised, reconnaissance scouts work closely with combat engineers to set up ambushes such as blockades and discrete landmines, resulting in, but not limited to, the total denial of hostile combat support operations. Finally, support units effectively employ security personnel through combat support elements by strategic posturing of fire support emplacements. Support units are specialized to deploy additional ATGM launchers on their FOBs, which when used in conjunction with mortars to support combat operations, results in a higher advantage of airspace security, roadway and border control, and indirect fire capabilities. The second major strategy for support units is to sustain both active and inactive operations through the elements of combat service support, such as supply and reinforcement delivery. Logistics supply runs are the lifeblood of any operation, but where support units thrive is in their abilities as skilled combat drivers to ensure safe and discreet delivery of the necessities required by forces downrange. First and foremost, support units are responsible for the transport of ammunition and build supplies to both offensive and defensive FOBs in support of hostile or imminent engagement. The successful sustainment of ground forces armament reserve results in a higher level of mission surety when it comes to the unpredictable nature of ground warfare. Particularly in terms of friendly vehicle capabilities, maximizing resupply of FOBs with vehicle repair stations ensures limited downtime when support units' mobile assets would otherwise be hindered by the impact of taking disabling damage or running dry on ammunition. Combined with another element of combat service support, combat engineers working closely with or on standby to friendly vehicles means the team can rely on mobile repair and maintenance personnel to quickly recover valuable assets from enemy territory, or can aid in rapid fixing of tires, tracks, and engine failures. In terms of reinforcements, beyond the ability of support units to deploy more troops downrange due to the extra HAB on their FOBs, transportation capabilities are enhanced by the use of high-capacity vehicles to drive infantry into combative battle space, particularly an advantage when HABs are compromised or when paving the establishment of new or forward fob radios. Finally, operational sustainment is incomplete without appropriate medical preparation by means of field dressing supplies and medevac capabilities. Proper resupply of forward fobs ensures support units can survive active firefights longer and results in the loss of less tickets overall when infantry possess no need to ration their life-saving medical supplies. Combined with medical personnel on standby in helicopter or light vehicle assets, support units exercise combat service support practices by means of exfiltrating injured troops from abandoned objective areas or recovering last remaining squad members and providing proper medical care to get them back into the fight. Keeping these strategies in mind, support units pose the greatest threat to air assault units. Though air assault units also have the advantage of extra ATGM emplacements on their FOBs, support units have the upper hand of intelligence to better predict the maneuvering of enemy helicopter assets across combative battle space. The maximization of missile fires in conjunction with the adversary's compromised positioning means support units can seamlessly control the airspace and deny opposing aerial resupply and assault capabilities. Where support units suffer is when facing light infantry units. Support units' unique ISR advantage is rendered less useful to light infantry units since lighter teams typically depend mostly on boots-on-the-ground combat or have too many smaller vehicles to keep track of. Additionally, their speed capabilities, combined with their matched advantage of having extra ATGMs on their FOBs, means light infantry units can more quickly set choke points on support units' supply lines to deny combat support operations. In conclusion, support units in squad possess unmatched sustainment capabilities to accomplish combative operations without the assistance from heavy-duty armored vehicles. Keeping the entire team's resources and mission objectives in mind, support units thrive through the resiliency to survive whatever the opposition brings to the table by more fluidly allocating logistics per combative necessity and urgency. However, all combat support and combat service support capabilities will be denied if support units fail to distribute resources to the forces downrange that are in desperate need.